Today on CityCast Nashville, I'm talking with a local entrepreneur you can't help but root for. Carlos Party is the visionary behind the Nashville Black Market, a pop-up he co-founded in 2018 to showcase and uplift Black-owned businesses. This weekend, February 8th and 9th, they're hosting their Black History Month Expo at the Nashville Fairgrounds, a celebration of culture with food trucks, vendors, games, DJs, art installations, and more. What started as a small idea has grown into a Nashville staple, a place where people from all backgrounds come together to find community and empowerment through entrepreneurship. Carlos joins us today to share his story and the incredible impact the Nashville Black Market is making in our city. It's Monday, February 3rd. I'm your host, Marie Cecile Anderson, and this is what Nashville's talking about. For folks who do not know, what is the Nashville Black Market?
The Nashville Black Market focuses on empowering Black-owned businesses and curating family-fun events. We're helping businesses translate their products and services to the masses. So you can imagine a block party meets outdoor mall, meets family reunion in one place.
And so the first Nashville Black Market of the year kicks off on February 8th and 9th at the Nashville Fairgrounds. Tell me what we can expect for this.
I'm super excited. Every year it gets better. More people come. It just really feels like one of those like huge celebrations. You know, we kind of compare it to cultural festivals around the world. We have vendors coming from, Nashville, but all over Tennessee and around the country as well. So these vendors are coming here to celebrate and sell their products and meet new consumers and friends and family. But we also, are able to engage with the community and be able to create an experience that's unforgettable. So whether it's dancing, whether it's shopping, whether it's eating at the food trucks or getting some delicious cookies from a vendor, or whether it's, just being able to kind of connect. So in the past, we've had installations from EA DJ. We've had installations from One Drop Tattoo Shop. So just to be able to kind of bring that experience for 2 days here in Nashville and just kick off Black History Month to showcase, how excellent it could be, but how we can continue to generate the dollar throughout the whole year.
And then how do you select the vendors for this?
Yeah. The vendor selection. Oh, wow. I'm so glad I'm not a part of the process anymore.
That must be so hard.
It is very hard. It's one of my favorite, though, because I get to know these vendors. Not only their products, but actually get to know them, on a personal level as well. And so we have a vendor process. It's a vetting process, whether it's asking those certain questions about, are they a full-time entrepreneur? Are they licensed, insured? What type of products are they selling? Are these products helpful and not harmful to the community?
And so how does it work for the vendors? Do they pay a membership fee or?
So we do have a membership fee, but that's for the whole year. So we have VIP vendors, and those vendors, they get to choose their space and place, at our First Friday events, which is after February. But we like to do it case by case and event by event because we understand and know what it's like being an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
You're paycheck to paycheck, gig to gig. And so that's the huge experience for us, is to be able to kind of grant them the chance to be able to sell their products consistently. We just want to, be able to kind of be a resource for them.
Can you share a success story from one of the vendors who's participated?
Yeah, most definitely. We have numerous success stories. I know one of my favorite was just hearing from a vendor about, how much money they made in the event and being able to provide food for their kids and be able to put food on their table for the next day. It's a tearjerker, and I'm probably not telling the story as best as they could. So, we've had vendors like one of my favorites is the Mellow Bar. They started out as a vendor and they consistently grown their products into, some really great products. And now they have their own brick and mortar location in collaboration with a luxury candle company. And so that's been a huge thing for us because it's we're helping these businesses go to the marketplace. If they start the Nashville Black Market, they may end up at Walmart. They may end up on Amazon. They may end up in Target. They may end up on the news. They may, it's being able to give them the exposure that they're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And also the funding, the economic part and the piece of it that, a lot of these businesses are missing. It's just we're not in business just to be in business. We're in business to provide change.
Yeah, I want to talk about the stark disparities in representation that Black-owned businesses experience in Nashville. Off the top of your head, do you know the percentage of Black-owned businesses in town? I kept finding conflicting data, so I wasn't sure. It seemed like everywhere I looked, it was like different numbers.
It's so much conflicting data. And off the top of my head, I couldn't give it to you because it's something that we're working on day by day and case by case, because it's so many businesses that are growing. Day by day, it's a new business that's probably being opened up right now. And we're like, okay, cool. But I think the biggest thing for us is making sure that they're stable and that they have a space and place to continue to make money. I think a lot of times we go into business looking to make money right off the bat. But in reality, is solving solutions. And I think solution-based businesses always thrive faster than just, I'm going to try and make some money off some people and see where it goes and see how far it does and where it lands. I think that's where we see fit. It's like, how can we help these businesses grow and scale to the masses versus just being a business in Nashville and not being able to turn over $1 or having to close their doors after a certain amount of days, or not make it to the next level.
Why do you believe Nashville needs the Nashville black market?
That's a really great question. We're here every day. And so sometimes, even myself being a Nashville native, I feel like a tourist in my own city. And so I want to be able to kind of showcase and show that, hey, we do have culture here. We do have people that look like me, that look like you, and we also enjoy these certain things. We also want to see more from the city. And so to be able to kind of come in and provide these experiences, these experiential events, they're like cultural festivals. They're giving you the chance to support, but also to feel comfortable in your skin and feel like you also have something to be able to, connect with. And I think in other cities, especially your Miamis, your LAs, your New Yorks, you see these things, you see how big culture is. And I think here in Nashville, we have a specific culture that we're sticking to, and it's not broadening. It's like you have your little pockets, you have your North Nashvilles, you have your South. We need to make sure that Nashville looks and represents what we are today. Like, how do we create that? And so, that's been our goal. It's like what started off as a pop-up shop now has became a marketplace, now has became a festival, now has became this experience that it's so hard to communicate, because once you're there and you're just in awe, you're like, oh, wow, they're doing this. We have this, we got that. We got, it's like, it's not just, hot chicken or cowboy boots and
Right.
Google clusters. It's like, no, we have this, we have that. And so I think that's the experience that we're trying to provide, is to showcase how we're giving Nashville something that's totally different.
Well, I'm glad you brought up tourism, because one statistic I did find about tourism here in Nashville is that obviously it's such a big driver for Nashville's economy, yet Black-owned businesses account for less than 1% of its revenue. Do you find that tourists are coming to your events, or is it meant more for locals?
Yeah, most definitely tourists are coming. We've had people come from Canada. We've had people come from all over the world, pretty much saying, hey, I seen this on social media, or hey, when I come to Nashville, this is where I'm going to go. We also travel with the market. We have a sister branch called the National Black Market. And we've been to Huntsville. We've been to Chattanooga. But, we're looking to kind of, spread our wings and kind of go to other cities in different pockets and be able to take a little bit of Nashville to those cities and bring a little bit back to this city. Tourism is a huge thing, especially for entrepreneurs here. And we don't necessarily get to see that. We're not in the conversation of downtown or Broadway or, the things that you see that are promoted on TV screens or on the show Nashville or whatever it may be. And so our job and our role is to provide that. We've been trying to work with the city, the state, to figure out exactly how do we fit in that mode? How can we continue to provide that experience for other people when they come to Nashville and they want to see something that's similar to their city? So far, we've had 100,000 people come to our events. And
Whoa.
so, those are really huge numbers. And so,
whoa, yes, that is a lot of people.
That's a lot of people. And that's from 2017 till to this day. And so, we want to continue to raise the bar and be able to kind of bring more and more people here. And how can we help? How can you help? How can the city help? And how can we continue to kind of create that intersection of commerce and culture here in Nashville?
Yeah, we're so much more than Broadway, folks.
Yes.
I want to start from the beginning. I want to hear how your vision started for Nashville Black Market. What was the first event like?
The first event, I wish my partner was here to tell this story with me, but shout out to my partner, Javon Jones. I have a clothing business called Cashville Etc. And at the time before then, I had another clothing business. And so like I've been an entrepreneur probably since I was a kid, but 2017, me and my partner were both kind of going through the thing of like, hey, we want our own brick and mortar. We want to, sell our merchandise to the masses, to the people. We want to create a place, a hub where people can kind of come and connect with us. And I think we ended up seeing something in another city, like a model, like doing pop-up shops. We're like, hey, we should do a pop-up shop here. That's what we were calling it at the time. And let's gather a few other businesses. We're popular. We can connect with a few other business owners that we know and figure out how to exactly, bring us all together and sell merchandise in one space. And so we used our word of mouth, we used our influence, and we connected with those businesses and connected with this, people in the city and said, hey, we're going to do this on this day. Make sure you come out. And this space, it was like very small. It's in North Nashville. So if you're familiar with North Nashville, Clarksville Highway is actually where the Rip Patton bus station that's right there now. And so we threw this event, and the day of, everything that you can think of went wrong. I mean, everything. I'm talking about the space was dirty. It had cigarette butts and liquor bottles from the night before.
Oh, no.
The owner or the guy who was renting the space, we didn't have a contract. We didn't know legalities at the time. And the guy literally went up on the price the day of.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And so like the vendors came in and they were just like, are y'all sure this is going to work? Like they literally doubted everything that we were doing at the time. And we were just like, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to keep pushing. I remember I literally had to go to my grandmother's house and borrow her vacuum. I had a friend vacuuming for me as I ran errands. We had 15 vendors that day and 2 food trucks. I'll say about 1,000 people showed up.
Oh, my gosh.
And from that day on, we were like, okay, I think we got something. And from there, it just kept progressing. It went from community center to church to a parking lot to a residency at the farmer's market to the fairgrounds. Like it was step by step.
Did you have a mentor guiding you throughout this whole process of launching?
No mentors, no blueprints. I would say now I have peers and I have mentors that guide me in certain things and certain processes, and I can kind of pick their brains. But at this time, literally no mentors, nobody co-signing, nobody saying, hey, you should do this or you should do it that way. And even if they did, at the time, we probably would have been so naive to it. It's just like, you don't know what you're talking about because we don't know what we're talking about. So like, like we didn't want to get discouraged or be let down by somebody's opinion or anything of that nature, which I'm not saying the next person shouldn't. Mm-hmm. But I think at the time, we just didn't know the blueprint for it because nobody at that time would think where we are today would come from that. Even myself, sometimes I'm surprised about some of the stuff that we do and we're able to do. It's like, oh, wow, we started here. Now we're here. So literally, I'm amazed at some of the things that we do. And I'm just like, wow, that it's working in our favor. I think the purpose of it has become bigger than what we even realize. It's like, we're cultivating the next generation of entrepreneurs. And just like the data changes, we have to change and we have to update to, what's going on in the world, whether it's the DEI situation, whether it's, us learning more about business ethics or the things that businesses need to grow and scale to the next level, because we're going through it ourselves. So if we're going through it, we're like proof of concept that the next person can do it, or we can be able to kind of give that game and insight to the next business or the next entrepreneur to where they need to go to the next level.
And what role do your events play in preserving and celebrating Black culture in Nashville?
It's been really amazing to be able to kind of, be on the forefront of that, to just kind of provide those experiences, whether it's the DJs, we've had performers like Willie Jones, Sammy, DJ Carly Park, the Swag Surf and Fly. We've been able to kind of showcase their different cultures in music. But we've also been able to showcase the different cultures in food and clothing, whether it's the Caribbean food from Pepper Pot. We have Von Suez tacos. We have fish and barbecue trucks. We have pizza trucks. We've been able to kind of showcase and show the wide range of like businesses that we have to offer. But we've been also been able to do it, whether it's in installations, whether it's, working with a Red Bull, whether it's partnering with a Predators and bringing something in, whether it's, creating something for Black History Month, whether it's an exhibition about what love is or how to celebrate Black love. One of my favorite exhibits is Grandma's room, and it was her grandma's living room. So if you remember back in the day where your grandparents would put plastic on the sofa just to make sure you didn't mess up the sofa. You see,
I remember that sound. That sound is so distinct.
Exactly. Or seeing a picture of Jesus on the wall, or seeing like the presidents or your MLK or something on the wall, like those types of moments and times, to where it kind of takes you back to a moment that you remember, but also showing that like, hey, we do have culture, we do have sound, we do have presence. Like, how can we portray and how can we make other people feel comfortable in the spaces that we're in? And it's not just we only want Black people to come, it's we want everybody to come and celebrate.
Well, it seems like Nashville is loving everything you do, because you've been winning all sorts of awards in town. Back in 2023, you won a Best of Nashville award from the Nashville Scene, thanks to an exhibit you co-curated called Faces of North Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk a little bit about that, as well as your other venture, Cashville?
Yeah, Cashville. We're bridging the gap between natives and transplants, just to be able to kind of give people the chance to tell Nashville's forgotten stories. And so like with Faces of North Nashville, I co-curated with my partner, Michael Ewing, who is working at the Frisk now as one of the first Black curators there. So like I had this idea and this vision of showing what Nashville was and what it used to be. This project was very near and dear to my heart because I recently just lost my great-grandmother and my great-aunt, who played a really pivotal role in this project because they were both featured. And my grandmother is like the face of the project. So it was really one of those family projects to me that I felt like the world needed to see, and, Nashville needed to see as well, because I feel like a lot of these places and spaces they're being diminished. A lot of these people can't go to the neighborhoods that they used to live in, or they don't have the house that they grew up in, or, family or friends, or the memories are gone. Curating and curation is literally collecting all this memory, all this data, all this history from your family, whether it's photographs, pictures, conversations, dates, obituaries, whatever they may be. And so that's a curator. A lot of times we talk about curators as like this big word or something, we're afraid of, or, it's like they get paid tons of dollars.
These fancy college professors curating a certain exhibit. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. And so for me to be able to curate something from my family, so I use photographs from my family. We owned a nightclub back in the day, and so to be able to kind of add some of those photos from there, going in my aunt's photo book and being able to kind of pull out some pictures and put them on display, some of their friends and some of their family, but also working in the neighborhood and finding other people's family and friends, working in Fisk archival, going and being able there to put on the white gloves and going and peeling back some layers and pictures and being able to kind of bring and present those to the masses. I worked with a few families in the neighborhood, like Jordan Hubbard, his family, they own the grocery store, and we have photos dating back to I believe the 18 or 1900s of his great-great-grandfather, who owned so many different things and passed down his legacy. And we were able to tell a story of love between his mother and his father, then how their love story started at a grocery store, being able to kind of tell these stories about businesses in that area, R&R Liquors being one of the longest Black-owned businesses as far as in the liquor business. Lewis Taxi Cab Company that literally used to take all the doctors and lawyers to the airport. So to find and to hear these stories, and then also other people gravitating towards these stories like, hey, my mom used to live there. Hey, my dad went to school there. Those were the stories that we're able to hear and able to, visualize and be able to kind of give a platform for the voiceless, because, Nashville is literally growing day by day. And sometimes we forget about what happened in the past. We need to be able to know what happened in the past so we can know where we're going in the future.
You're a historian. You're a curator, you're an artist, you're an entertainer. My last question then, I would like to know, what advice would you give to someone who wants to create something similar in their own city?
Community is really huge. We talk about community all the time, and sometimes it sounds very vague, and it's just like, oh yeah, community center, community advice, like those things. But no, community is really important, because those people that are around you are going to help you build, and they're going to help you continue to grow. You have to have people in your circle that are surrounding you in grace and abundance and able to help you go to the next level as well, because you can't just do it all by yourself. To be able to take something and transform it to the next piece or to the next place or to the next thing is amazing. And so I just suggest that you continue to do the work, do some research, get around like-minded people, find your center, find your core, and then put the work out, do it, put it out into the world. You'll never know if somebody needs it if you don't put it out there and you don't share it. Literally, don't be afraid. I think sometimes we're fearful of some of the ideas and opportunities that we have at our hands, but we can't be. We got to continue to do it and figure out how to do it the right way.
Well, thank you, Carlos.
Thank you.
And I hope that everybody checks out Nashville Black Market at the Fairgrounds, February 8th and 9th. We'll put all the information in the episode description. And Carlos, we'll see you there.
Yes, see y'all there. I can't wait to have fun with y'all.
That's all for today here on CityCast Nashville. Be sure to check out Nashville Black Market this weekend. If you enjoyed the show, why not tell your friends? Rate the show, leave us a review, and subscribe to our Hey Nashville newsletter. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Doodles!